Guys, Somerdale Piso back once again with yet another video. We're in it right now in the winter. No sweater, no coat. We ready to go. I want to tell you guys something today. We're going to talk about something very, very important, right? How is it that I'm able to do this, right? How am I able to even come out here, yell like this, be energetic like this without a jacket? Is it because I'm losing so much heat in my body and that the body's going into some sort of spastic reflexive throes in order to try to heat itself up to the last very end? Maybe, I don't know. But honestly, I think it's the other half. I think that it's because I have a large influx of testosterone, right? What is that? I don't really talk about it on the channel. I do talk about semen retention. We talk about celibacy. We talk about a whole bunch of various topics, you know, metaphysics, religion, and using those things to supplement celibacy in order to rise above the aspects of this world, which are very, very basest in nature. But we never really tackle testosterone. What really is it? Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to get into it now, right? Let's go. What is testosterone? Whereas in females, there is the opposite, right? There is the estrogen, which is the female growth hormone responsible for a lot of the female, primarily female reproductive functions of the organism, right? On that end, testosterone is responsible for all the male functions on our end, right? Bone density, muscle growth, not being actually staving off depression. The more testosterone you have in your body, the less depressed, the less anxious you are. Also, I think testosterone lends to balding. I'm brave enough to admit that because I lack anxiety because of testosterone, right? Endorphins as well, due to the gym, but that's another story. But I'm here to tell you today, guys, on how to utilize the practice of semen retention in order to build a large reservoir of testosterone in your body so we can triumph over the things of this world that tend to keep us down. What are these things, right? Like, we're going to get into testosterone. We're going to explain a lot of why, like the vehicles, the various services, methods you can do to get testosterone in your body. But we're going to talk about what this world does, primarily to men, that keeps our testosterone down, which makes us sort of mind slaves to the machinations of this place, right? Essentially, it is of a financial basis, all the issues of this world. With the lack of finances, we don't really have the opportunity to do a lot of things, to learn a lot of things, to have free time, to explore a lot of the creativity that's latent in us all, right? Because we're constantly chasing this money in order to survive just on a basic level. If we continue to follow in this method, as a lot of underprivileged men do, we are going to become slaves. We start to find ways in order to cope with the lack of fun or the lack of the expression of creativity in our lives. We find that through just drinking alcohol, which is horrible for the body. That lowers testosterone as well. Smoking weed, which also lowers testosterone as well. Doing various amount of drugs, that also lowers testosterone. A lot of men are found in these perpetual loops of behavior because they are trying to cope with the financial burdens that the modern Western world places upon us all and stifles our creative faculties. When you are when you sort of let go of all of these things, like these fetters, these anchors, right? Alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, that stifle the growth and the utilization of testosterone in the body, you start to look at life in a completely new way. You start to be incredibly excited. All of these the drugs, these Western medicine, these pills that they give us in order to sort of cull depression for a little bit, cull anxiety for a little bit, you won't need these any longer. I'm gonna admit, when I was growing up, I was always a hyperactive kid. I don't know if maybe I had a larger amount of testosterone than others, but I've always been super hyperactive. I've never needed drugs of any sort, medication. I never fell into bouts of depression, although of course I was sad. Sadness hits us all. Maybe I just didn't really dwell on sadness for too often, which is why it never resided in my body. But I'm here to tell you that also when I was on semen retention, when I got into that practice of semen retention, when I started getting on this long streak, depression wasn't even considered to even be a consideration, right? Because it just doesn't exist. It can exist. Let's talk about now the various methods in light of this economic situation that we are in the West, Western Europe, the United States, Australia, Canada. Let's talk about how various methods, various ways of being can help out with the cultivation of testosterone in our bodies. Number one, the primary way is semen retention. If you guys are not on semen retention, I don't know what the hell you guys are doing with your lives. You are probably falling victim to the sways of the world. You see, we are in a universe. Let's just explain it. I'm going to try to explain it as tersely as possible. We are currently in a realm. We are currently in a dimension. Three-dimension, I know, it's three-dimensional space. There are various layers. The ozone layer has various layers that protects the very, very oppressive and malignant rays of the sun. The sun is powerful for us, right? We need a lot of the vitamins that come from the sun, primarily vitamin D, which also boosts testosterone. But if we did not have these protective layers on our planet in this dimension, then we will be devastated by the sun. Even though we do have these layers, right? The sun exerts its will upon us every single day through the various vibrations of the colors that it emits. If you do not have the proper protection, I know it sounds like I'm spitting a whole bunch of codswallop, but the longer you are on this practice of semen retention, the more you're going to understand this, right? Intuitively. You probably won't be able to explain it, but you'll definitely understand it on a visceral level. The longer you are on semen retention, you are cultivating an aura that protects you from the malignant rays of the sun that are able to sneak in through the various layers, the spheres, like the stratosphere, the atmosphere, so on and so forth. And you are not affected how everyone in this world are affected. Generally we have people that have bad days, right? We have people that are pretty sad one day and they're pretty happy one day. And all of those emotional states are due to the influence of the sun, the subtle influence of the rays of the sun. When you are on the practice of semen retention, not only you are not going to be reliant or malleable to those subtle influences of the sun, but you are going to have your own energy built in your own aura due to your own efforts and due to your own discipline, and you'll be able to rise. You'll be able to control yourself. Let's get right back on track and talk about how semen retention is a perfect vehicle for the building of testosterone in the body. A whole bunch of vitamins, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc, vitamins of various kinds, amino acids, galore. Every time you ejaculate, every time you release, all of those nutrients are gone. They're left evacuated from the body, right? And to accumulate it again, you have to, of course, get a whole bunch of water, which will dehydrate the body, and all of those vitamins again in the various foods. If it can't find it in the foods that you digest, the body will take it from the bones, from the various parts of the body, which weakens the body. That is the issue with not being on semen retention. In addition to all the accumulation of all the vitamins and the minerals, the nutrients, the amino acids that the semen retention practice gives you, it also brings in testosterone. It is a peer-backed study that exists that after a week of being on semen retention, your testosterone in the body doubles. There's a whole explanation, or there's a whole bunch of anecdotes, of people that talk about their various effects, what the stories of what happened when they've been on the practice for a week, 2 weeks. They feel confidence, lack of anxiety, more strength in the gym, less brain fog, right? It's all due to that influx of testosterone in the body. Testosterone is an incredibly powerful male growth hormone, and it will do us well in order to accumulate this force en masse. Don't do it through artificial means, because that's not going to work. You need to do it through the natural means. Our bodies are very, very sophisticated systems that can process a lot of information and cultivate a lot of energy. Utilize the processes of the body. Find a way to fall in line with the natural way of things. Eating just a certain amount in order to digest a certain amount, to not accumulate too much fat in the body, right? Just do not eat to excess. Minimalism is key, and then the body will excel and create this testosterone. What else builds testosterone? There are various activities. I know this is counterintuitive to the whole practice of semen retention and celibacy, but I'm going to tell you this. Speaking to women, actually, or doing anything that's outside of your comfort zone builds testosterone. Of course, you'll feel like some sort of stomach flutters, your heart palpitations when you, God forbid, you go on the street and you ask someone the directions to your neighborhood supermarket or the train station. That's just anxiety hitting the body, leaving the body slowly but surely. When you do those acts constantly, you will build testosterone in the body. It helps. I'm not gonna lie, I was very young once upon a time, as us all, right? Being in this three-dimensional space. And I used to lack confidence. I used to be very, very shy. You have to try to accumulate testosterone in your body by challenging yourself to talking to strangers every now and then. Another thing that builds testosterone is competition, right? When you compete with someone, unfortunately, we do have an artificial means of competition that is perpetuated in this place, right? Through video games, through very, very sedentary activities like chess or whatnot, which are good for the brain to some degree, but partaking in competition like this fools the body, and winning fools the body into producing testosterone for a very sedentary activity. Chess is good, like I said. Some video games are good, but in excess, no. And I could see how people, men especially, get into this perpetual loop of playing video games and constantly getting that dopamine hit, of course, from doing well in the video game and getting that small boost of testosterone, right, albeit for a little second, with every single successive victory, and remaining in their very, very sedentary state. The competition I'm talking about is going out doing wrestling, boxing, right? We're doing kickboxing, MMA, something active, something physically active where you triumph over something else and then you obtain that testosterone hit. Competition is the way to do it. Another way to boost testosterone in the body is exercise. Exercise. I don't know why. This is 2024. We are in the United States. I'm going to tell you the stats right now. The majority of the people in the United States are overweight and obese. How is that possible? We have more yoga studios, we have more gyms, we have more exercise facilities here now more than ever. Why are we still fat? How are we still fat? How are we still fat? Guys, just because we hear a lot of social media trends about women embarrassing men when they check them out in the gym, because due to some sort of very carefully, clandestinely hid camera of the woman, right, that catches these men's reactions when they look at women scantily dressed, just because there's maybe some sort of prevalence of that doesn't mean that we should stay away from the gym. We need to build that testosterone. We need to build that energy. Go to the gym. If you don't know what the hell to do, become a member of the channel, because I'm definitely going to drop some exercise videos on just on what to do. If you guys are a little clueless about the gym, I'm going to tell you guys exactly what to do so we can build some testosterone, right? So we can build some energy, so we can build some force. We are in too much of a modern world, a modern society, for us to remain sedentary, for us to remain unfit. This doesn't make any sense. Gentlemen, if you are just going to the gym, you don't know what the hell to do, look around, look what the biggest guy is doing, look at him, try to mimic him to some degree, maybe obviously do a lighter weight, or ask questions. Talk and ask questions. Talk and ask questions. Ask people what the hell can be done, and then just do it, replicate it. It is, like I said, I'm going to say it again. This world is way too modern. We have ChatGPT. We have various AI-ran companies and programs. We have a lot of countries that were otherwise not liberated have now been freed, gained their independence in the recent 100 years, for us to continue to be unhealthy and fat. Guys, get to the gym and raise your testosterone. There are various other methods of raising your testosterone levels, but these that I listed are a couple few that you could use to begin, right? At the end of the day, you have to, semen retention is very important. Remaining disciplined, remaining slightly chaste, remaining disciplined, remaining chaste will help you definitely be a vehicle for testosterone in your body, for you to start doing a lot of the other things that life has in store for us. Life is a very, very simple dimension, to be honest. Obviously, there are other effects of the various other dimensions that lie on top of this one. That's metaphysics talk for another discussion. You have to think simply. Get testosterone in your body, exercise, do some practices of some sort in order to accumulate this hormone in your body, and then you'll be able to do everything that you read about the greats in life have done. Shakespeare, there's no way he would have written a whole bunch of books if it wasn't for that accumulation of testosterone. Miguel de Cervantes, Dante Alighieri, Bret Easton Ellis, right? I was about to say J.K. Rowling. We have to gain testosterone in our body through various exercises, various means, in order to feel very, very powerful and get what needs to be gotten or be done, finished. Right? Do some exercise, get into competition. Don't forget to shock yourselves every now and then. Every day, try to go outside and speak to a stranger. That will help you with your anxiety levels tenfold. You do that, you guys are going to be all right. And with that being said, that is all I have to say today about testosterone and semen retention. If you guys enjoy that kind of content, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with some peers. Listen, let me tell you guys something right now. Let me tell you something right now. Don't ever let this place get you down. You see, listen, I know that in the mire of this society, right, the Western society, where people's minds and opinions are not their own. I understand that completely. And you trying to strive to be an independent individual, an independent unit, a unique, solo thinking individual amongst the individuals that parrot ideology. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. Trust me, when you do the things that I've told you to do, get on Semen Retention. Number one, go in the gym, exercise, read books, scare yourselves, go outside, talk to a stranger every now and then. You do that, trust me, I'm telling you, the shadows, the machinations of this fallen society will just be some sort of scratch on your shin. It'll be nothing, right? Don't let this place get you down, guys, and stay radiant. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Woo!